Hi everybody, now we're going to start with this. And the first thing we're going to do with this segment, or web series, is I'd like to go and thank the fact that dumblaws.com exists. Now, for all intents and purposes, this is a site they're going to come from, as they do have a lot of these verified, and they do retract the ones that they verified not to be true. So that's pretty awesome that they do that, and it's always a wonderful thing. Now, I bring this merely up because they have had a couple. They had one at least that I found, but we'll get to that one later. Now, some of these are going to have that I find because I am going to look them up, and I'll later screenshot these as soon as I find good working, or I am able to go and afford using a screen capturing software that allows me to not only record but look these up as well. If anybody has any suggestions on good free legal software to do this, I'd greatly appreciate it. And thank you. That'll also allow me to get back to go and doing my Let's Plays for a few different games, including Command & Conquer Renegade. Unfortunately, my free trial to the one I was using, which worked okay, expired, so I no longer have use of that one until I get whatever it costs to make it legal. Now, again, this is going to be weather related. Now, this is one that isn't confirmed, but it's on here. Sunshine is guaranteed to the masses, and that one comes to us from California. Yeah, there's no reason why that's set there. Now going on to the other one I've found here, and this one comes to us from the great state of Texas, where a program has been created in a state that attempts to control the weather. And this one has text of this law. And it has the acts where it was went into effect September 1st, 2011. The department shall develop and administer a program awarding matching grants to political subdivisions of the state for weather modification and control. So the state of Texas is effectively wanting to somehow become a supervillain from a Saturday morning cartoon. Why other than making sure you get adequate water sunlight ratio, making sure everything's beautiful, you destroy the fucking ecosystem. Now, I understand some of the weather in places can suck, like Ohio, which is normally covered with snow right now, which it isn't, unfortunately. So I love the snow. I don't like freezing to death out the crap, but I worked in the snow for a long time, and I'm pretty okay, so I'm okay with it. It's now to me, and I actually like colder temperatures. They're seriously paying people with money to come up with, and grants, for the most part, as far as educational grants, don't have to be paid back. And that's another subject we'll get into later. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I do apologize. I'm trying to read some of these to see if I can go and find any more Here's one that's odd. Persons may not allow attractive nuisances to exist. I do apologize for the lengthy time of that. And as to why this one exists, while the wording of the actual law may sound like an oxymoron, an attractive nuisance is really an object that will attract a bear, i.e. garbage, by discouraging bears to come around. Dangerous human-bear interactions are limited, as well as expensive bear relocations and shootings. See, now there's a law that sounds weird, but has a good valid reason to exist. I still want to know the good reason behind weather control. It just sounds stupid. Well, let's see if Arizona has anything to offer us as far as weather control. Hunting camels is prohibited, and didn't know camels really existed in Arizona other side of the museum. Donkeys cannot sleep in bathtubs. I lived in Arizona for a few months, never had that issue. My aunt lived there for years, and she never had that issue either. A Class 2 misdemeanor occurs if one places a mark upon a flag which is likely to provoke physical retaliation. Now, this one seems goofy, and let's just verify this one. There's some legal stuff here. 13-3703, abuse of venerated objects classification. A person commits abusive of venerated objects by intentionally desecrating a public monument, memorials, anything like that. Okay, see, now from the way that read originally, now I can understand to be something like burning a flag or cutting the hat off a memorial statue. Yeah, you should probably go to jail for that, because that's a dick move. This one goes without saying, I have no idea, by the way, what the hell imitation cocaine is. Now here's one I wish there was more alliteration on, simply because of the fact it's kind of funny. Talk about being fair or not fair, that's your opinion of this one. When being attacked by a criminal or burglar, you may only protect yourself with the same weapon the other person possesses. They're in your house. Shoot them. That's quick. It's unlawful to refuse a person a glass of water. I have a guess that this has something to do. In the summertime, the temperature reaching topping 120 degrees, often people will need water but may not have the money to pay for it. Mainly applies to the homeless, hence the law. It is very much in effect today, with businesses being reported and heavily fined who refuse to supply water to those who ask for it. Convenience stores are the primary businesses who will uphold this law. Again, it's one that sounds goofy, that I don't know why this one's considered a dumb law. It actually makes sense. You can't do something it's never been legal to knowingly do something that causes harm to somebody else. If it's 120 degrees outside and the guy needs a glass of water, you should not be a douchebag and give him the fucking glass of water. It's not even a question of legality morality. It's just not being a dick. If you bother the cottontails or bullfrogs, you will be fined. And that's in Hayden, Arizona. Maricopa County. No more than 6 girls may live in a house. I wonder if this one has something to do with the brothel law. And as for why this law exists, according to dumblaws.com, the zoning ordinance was intended to crack down on the proliferation of brothels. However, lawmakers did not foresee cultural changes such as groups of girls living together in a sorority house. It's still there, but it's one that didn't have Farsight. Again, back when that was likely enacted, as it says, sorority houses probably hadn't been invented yet, so I'm sure that it's not something cracked down on harshly. By the way, the multiple people living in the same household for women applies in a lot of states, it seems. Again, it's always a brothel law. In Mesa, Arizona, it's illegal to smoke cigarettes within 15 feet of a public place unless you have a Class 12 liquor license. There's not a whole bunch of really bad ones. Yeah, this one, Tempe, Arizona, one must be 18 years of old to buy spray paint. Now, this one isn't uncommon. They actually do this in quite a few states and towns. I live in Ohio, where they do different locations do card you to buy that. Again, because kids are stupid and will tend out to go on spray paint, not that adults don't do it as well. When I was a kid, however, I could go to any Dollar General store, any Family Dollar, or any other store, in fact, and buy cans of spray paint. We didn't do anything lewd with them. We just had some fun and did stupid kid shit. Not tagging. We actually painted crap with them. No person other than a parent, leader, guardian shall sell, exchange, give, loan, or otherwise furnish or cause or permit to be exchanged, given, loaned, or otherwise furnished any graffiti implement, and it is graffiti implement. So there's that one. And violation of this section is a Class 1 misdemeanor. It does not apply to the transfer of graffiti implements from parent to child, guardian to ward, employee to teacher to student, or any other similar relationship when such transfer is for a lawful purpose. Okay, so basically you can't do it so they can go and be dickheads and spray paint trains. You can say it gave it to them to make a science fair project. What they do with it isn't completely up to the parents. Yes, by the way, I do think parents should monitor what their kids are doing with spray paint and why they need it. And if their kid gets arrested by spray painting graffiti, should the parent go to jail? Not really. Do I understand why they probably should? Yeah, I can. Because, again, people do dumb shit, so dumb laws are needed. Let's see here, since I have friends that live in quite a few states. And by the way, if you know the opposite of some of these laws, let me know, or go to dumblaws.com and email the owner of the site that I'm using for this case, and just to let him know, because he will retract them and he'll print why it was retracted. Because he has. And keep in mind, he's always going to be on the lookout for new dumb laws. Or just laws that make you funny, make you laugh. And let's face it, even the wording of some of these laws are goofy. Oh, let's see here. I am going to go with... let's see here. Let's go with New York to see what they have. Since the Giants won, which, by the way, fantastic. I was very good game. In New York, adultery is still a crime. Yeah, adultery is a crime in a lot of places. It's penal law. A person is guilty of adultery when he engages, I'm going to emphasize the word he, should be he or she engages in sexual intercourse with another person at the time when he or she is a living spouse, or the other person has a living spouse. Adultery is a B-class misdemeanor. A B-class misdemeanor is punishable up to 90 days in jail or a $500 fine. So fucking your neighbor over by fucking his wife can land you in jail for 90 days and cost you $500. Seems like the cheaper thing to do is fly to Reno and go to a legal brothel. or don't get caught. Either way. And again, that's another morality one, but this one's understandable since jealousy tends to get people shot. And no, I don't endorse either of these things. And as for why it exists in New York, Times City Room blog discusses this law on March 21st, 2008. The law is rarely enforced, but about a dozen people have been charged since the 1970s. The law took effect on September 1st of 1907. So it's not that old of a law, 105 years old. And again, it's not one that's enforced, but people do get arrested for it once in a while. But only a dozen since the 1970s. So if you go and put it 42 years, 12 people have been arrested, then it's kind of not well used. I'm guessing, like some other ones, that's something that has to be done. Yeah. Citizens apparently may not greet each other by putting one's thumb to nose and wiggling fingers. Like this. I just did that because it's something I can't remember. I saw in some show when I was a kid, and that's always been funny. And at one point, a $25 fine can be levied for flirting. Yeah. Let's see. The penalty for jumping off a building is death. That's ironic because you normally die. I'm guessing that was an old one, and that's probably there again because if you fall and hit somebody on your way down, you could seriously hurt them and potentially live. I doubt you would, but hey. New Yorkers cannot dissolve a marriage for irreconcilable differences unless they both agree to it. A person may not walk around on Sundays with an ice cream cone in his or her pocket. Now, this law, if it's still an act or was ever true, why the hell it would have ever been, I don't know, isn't the point. Why the hell would you do that to begin with? In New York, while riding in an elevator, one must talk to no one and fold his hands while looking toward the door. Okay, I guess to avoid being rude. Let's see. It is against town ordinances to camp out on your own land for more than 72 hours a month. If you want to camp out for 2 weeks, you need a permit which can only be obtained once a year. And why the hell does this exist? Section 625 camping units. Camping units shall not be occupied outside of an approved campground for more than 72 hours. On any basis, a special permit must be granted by the ZO for single camping units to be occupied outside of the approved campgrounds for a period not to exceed 2 weeks or weeks in duration calendar year. And this was amended at one point. Back in 1960s, the town of Murray enacted this ordinance, and when someone from Kendall heard about it, they thought it was a good idea. The Murray town lawyer brought their ordinance up to Kendall and worked with the Kendall lawyer to change the name, a few details, and the board voted on it and enacted it. So just something that seems like a good idea, which is how a lot of these laws start. And are there anything else interesting in the state I'm currently in? Let me see here. Yeah, a lot of the ones in New York seem to make sense to me. Let's see, I'm going to go and pick on myself. Camping is something seasonal anyhow, so it sort of fits. Apparently, In Ohio, if you ignore an orator on Decoration Day to such an extent as to publicly play croquet or pitch horseshoes within 1 mile of the speaker's stand, you can be fined $25. This one I am going to look up because I just feel like it. Yeah. And apparently it's illegal to fish for whales on Sunday. You can't fish for whales in Lake Erie! How the fuck would that be an actual law? It's illegal to get a fish drunk. Again, why would you? The Ohio driver... You know, these are going to be a lot more fun once I have other people on these. And some of these I will cover again. The Ohio Driver's Education Manual states that you must honk the horn whenever you pass another car. When you do that, it tends to piss people off. Yeah, and it does, by the way, say that. I've seen it, and it does. I'll have to go find it. I'll have to find my copy again, or I'll grab my brother's. Participating or conducting a duel is prohibited. Yeah, because that usually results in death. Let's see. Breastfeeding and it's not allowed in public, which was revived in 2005. Yeah, and here's another one. It's, like I said, it's illegal for more than 5 women to live in a house in the state of Ohio. Must be the same thing. It's illegal to mistreat anything of great importance. Yeah, let's look into this one. No person without privilege to do so shall purposely deface, damage, pollute, or otherwise physically mistreat any of the following: a flag of the United States, or of this state, Ohio, any public monument, any historical commemorative marker, or any structure, Indian mound, or earthwork, cemetery, thing of site of great historical or archaeological significance, a place of worship, its furnishings, religious artifacts, museum piece, or any of the objects, reverence of sacred devotion. So basically, same basic thing. You're not really supposed to burn flags and desecrate anything like that. Don't be a dick and don't fuck around with other people's shit. Akron, it's illegal to display colored chickens for sale? Now this is one I've come across elsewhere, and I'll have to look it up, and I'll come back to this one. Yeah, this one I know is another state. Yeah, and basically it goes on to tell you can't be within less than a set of 6. And when you have them, you have to go and operate boilers or other heating devices that may be necessary to promote good health. Basically, it tells you also have to go and take care of the animals. You should not have to tell people to take care of their animals. And that's just it. Skateboarding city limits after dark. These are all in Akron, Ohio. Very nice place. Really, had some really cool looking buildings, especially near the university down there. Skateboarding in city limits after dark is prohibited. Now, I can understand this one simply because it's dangerous for not only the people on the skateboards, but also people driving, as they could cause an accident hurting the driver of the car as well as this person skateboarding. So yeah, that one's to go and keep you safe. Canton electric fences are banned, most likely because somebody probably got seriously injured or killed. And yes, I'm not going to go on the thing that happened a few months ago with the unfortunate incident of somebody going and killing a whole bunch of animals, which happened in Zanesville, not too far from where a relative of mine lives. But yeah, If one loses their pet tiger, they must notify the authorities within 1 hour. Power wheel cars cannot be driven down the street, which is something I wish I'd known when I was a kid, because I knew a bunch of people who did that. And we'll just do a couple more. Well, people like to pick on Rhode Island, so why the hell not? Cap guns are illegal. Title 11 Criminal Offense, Chapter 11 through 13, Explosives and Fireworks. Toy canes are devices for firing blanks. No person or person shall sell, expose, for sale, possess with intent to sell or use, discharge or use within this state. A repeating toy cane for discharging any explosive, any toy pistol, or any other toy devices designed or used to discharge blank cartridges. Doesn't say why, other than the basic joke that Rhode Island kills fun for a living. And the last one to tie that one together for right now is the state of Missouri. Where is it? We're in Kansas City. This one does not have the title code information to it, and I am going to have to look into this. Minors are not allowed to purchase cat pistols. However, they may buy shotguns freely. You can't give your kids the fun of playing with a toy gun with blank caps that aren't going to hurt anybody unless you beat somebody with it. So we're going to let them have shotguns instead. Why? You know, if you're going to bother having a law, I can understand the sense in some of these. And a couple more of these we're going to start with later on, or tomorrow, with those. I will be doing one here tonight or tomorrow with a friend of mine who is originally from Illinois and currently lives in another country. It'll be an international edition. Yeah, I know it shows something I just started. So why am I doing an international one early? Because I talk to people from all over the world because I think it's fun. Well, everybody, this has been a real slice. I hope you were informed and as mortified as I was, because it's always fun to mortify those you care about. If you don't believe me, just ask a relative, and remember, while laws may exist for a good reason, it doesn't mean some of them aren't thoroughly stupid. Well, stupid people make for stupid laws. I know this has been I know I did this out of sheer boredom and fun. And again, I do thank www.dumblaws.com for its simple existence. And again, if you do come across those, I would ask that you do go and be as kind to go and visit the site and look at some more of these. I'm not going into all of them because I'm just going through some of the ones that I find to be more amusing. And as I promised, if you find new laws, please contact the guy at Andy@dumblaws.com, where he thanks you, or if you go and look, which is just on Contact Dumblaws, part of the page, which is part of the best of network, Dumb Criminals, Dumb Warnings, and Real Haunted Houses. The Dumb Network has Dumb Bumpers, Dumb Criminals, Dumb Facts, Dumb Lawsuits, Dumb Movies, Photos, Quotes, Warnings. Yeah, I got tired of reading half of those. Do you have a new dumb law to suggest? Perhaps you have some information to add. They do want to hear it, and again, send him an email at Andy@dumblaws.com. He thanks us for visiting, and I thank you for watching. So everybody out in YouTube land, have yourself a good night.